All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Game Set Live. All right. We're here. We're live. Get used to it. Woohoo! And it's just me and the Brazilian gangster, the milk peddler, the bread thrower, Mr. Fabio Amorim, here by ourselves,
The
keeping the ship
the
afloat.
leader of the Milky Mafia, of course.
Oh, how you been, brother? How you been?
Oh, been good. So just a bunch of work because of ah, trying to get a master's degree in chemistry is really complicated, and especially when you are also trying to get a to enter the process to get a doctorate. You have to release a bunch of scientific papers, and I am about to release my first one on the by the end of this month. But other than that, yeah, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure. And how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. It's been a very busy week. Yeah, my mother was out of town seeing her mother, and my wife took the kids to go see her mother, and I literally slept to almost 7 o'clock that evening of Mother's Day. Got up, got
Of
ready,
course.
went to work, texted my mom, wish her a happy Mother's Day to see when was a good time for us to come over and see her the next day, and blah blah blah. And then the next day we found out that field day at my son's school had been moved up a day due to bad weather that was going to be on Tuesday. So I went to the field day with my wife,
Mm.
and then after that, I didn't get much sleep, so I wasn't able to see my mother that day. And then the next day was Boy Scouts, and so by Wednesday, I was feeling like a really, really bad son. And but today we took my parents out for dinner and gave my mom her Mother's Day gift, and everything's good. Everybody's happy, and I'm here and I'm ready to talk about games and the the thing that is dying in our community, which is exclusives. That's right. Oh yeah. But
Yeah.
what have you been playing?
Well. What I've been playing? Guess one of the games. Just guess one.
Halo Infinite.
Oh my god, you're a wizard. I don't know how you manage to do that every time. Like, it's just. Yes, I've been playing some Halo Infinite, of course. Who wouldn't? But other than that, I've been playing some Forza Motorsports. The last one, of course. I've been playing some Doom. Yes, I am having a bunch of fun with some Doom, of course. I've been playing also some Halo 5 Guardians campaign co-op with my buddies. And other than that, thinking a little bit here, yeah, that's it basically.
Well, my Xbox hasn't been turned on in over a week, but my PC's been turned on every day.
How dare you? How can you say something like that?
Dude, I'm
Are you
sorry.
giving up on the console? Is that what you're telling me?
No, but there's just so many cool things out right now
Come on,
in early
come on,
release.
come on, Bob. Like, you know you're better than this. Like, the console is capable of so much stuff more than the PC. And what I just wanna say from the bottom of my heart is, fuck you. No, just kidding. Okay, it's all good. Just couldn't resist.
Wow. Goodness.
Yep.
Yeah, what you see on screen right now is it's a PC. It's a game on Steam. It's in early access. Called Pine Harbor. Um, it is a survival slash horror game where your father sends you, or supposedly your father that you haven't seen in years, because he's been working on this story. He's like a reporter or an investigator. He's been working on this story in a small town called Pine Harbor. And then so he sends you a letter out of the blue saying, "Hey, I need some help with doing this. Can you come and see me?" And
Mm-hmm.
so you go to see him, and you find out he's not the one that sent the letter. That and this whole town called Pine Harbor is completely abandoned. because there was a factory explosion or something years ago, and everybody that got out, and the people that didn't have been turned into mutants and strange creatures and pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got my ass
Oh,
whooped.
look, very indie game. Like looks alright for what I've seen from the gameplay. Do you shoot anything?
Yeah, it's the shooter slash hack and slash survival. It's in
And
Unreal
are
Engine.
you good? Are you good at shooting the things there, or are you just like Sniper Elite shooting things there?
I haven't found the gun yet, so far I've just been swinging a bat and stuff.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, it is an Unreal Engine 5 though. It's a very pretty game. Um,
Hmm.
yes,
Seriously?
yes, it's an Unreal Engine 5.
Okay, well, what's the studio? Who made this again?
Oh gosh, you would ask me that. Let's
I
see.
don't. Okay, I'm sorry if you don't know. It's so good.
Okay,
I'm gonna try to force you there, but like the guys managed to, like, yeah, character is like okay. The characters look okay, but the environments look good. So I'm like, yeah, this is Unreal Engine 5 over there, but like,
Pine Harbor
is
is
it well optimized?
Pine Harbor was released. It's by developer and publisher Vision Forge team, and it was released into early access on April 25th, 2024. So just a couple of
Mm,
weeks ago, or a few weeks ago.
oh damn.
Yeah.
Early access, you say?
Yes. So I don't know when it stops or when I'm going to get to the point where they're not adding content anymore. But
Good points.
or I'm not going to get to the point in the early access yet that I don't know. Because they
Mm,
and when things are in early access, they add content in patches and updates, and this one hasn't gotten a patch or update since April 24th, which makes sense. It's only been in early access for 3 weeks, so I haven't yet hit the ceiling of the content that they've added on initial early access release. But
mm-hmm.
but so far it's very disturbing. It's pretty disturbing. Like you're gonna see here in a second, where my father starts talking to me in the kitchen, and he starts saying, you start hearing all these creatures running around outside and stuff, and beating on the walls and the windows and the doors, and he tells me to go down in the basement, and he tells me, he was like, do not open the basement door unless I knock 4 times. He said, not 2, not 3, not 5 knocks, 4 knocks. And so you go down in the basement, and you're standing there on the stairwell, and I was like, well, maybe I need to lock the door. And so I look down at the doorknob, and I hit the A button because it has full controller support. I look down and hit
Okay, nice.
I hit the A button, and
Uh-huh.
it opened the door. You'll see it right here. And as soon as the door opens, this thing jumps on top of me and kills me. And I'm like,
Ah,
son of a
shit.
bitch. So I reloaded the game, and I go down in the basement, and I'm there, and I hear 2 knocks, and I'm like, nope, I'm not falling for this shit. Mm-mm. And then I hear 3 knocks. I'm like, nope, mm-mm. And then I hear 5 knocks, and I'm like, nope, mm-mm. I'm not falling for it. And then a little bit of time goes by. Oh, there it is. Yeah, see? I just got taken out by this thing. It's crazy.
Wait a
Yep.
minute.
What?
Wait a minute. This thing, like, it didn't show the thing yet. You're still waiting for the knocks. Okay. You're about. Oh, la motherfucker.
See? See? I'm like, do I have to lock this door? And I'm like, so I hit the doorknob, and it opened the door, and I'm like, dead. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Son of a.
And now I'm just walking around in the
Why?
basement, just kind of waiting on the knocks,
Why do you?
listening for the knocks.
Me? Why? Why you do this to me?
I don't know. I don't know. It's
I,
pretty
I
crazy.
fu- I fucking hate jump scares, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Why was I paying so much like why was I paying so much attention to this fucking clip
I
if I
know.
knew that was going to happen?
Yeah, you did.
I
That's
just
funny.
like you were just saying, you were describing exactly everything that just happened, and I was still okay. Okay, I'm not gonna fall for it. Let me check this. What's going on? And then, motherfucker.
Thember, it's called Pine Harbor. It's in early access on Steam, and yeah, it's just where early access hit. I do believe it's heading to everything eventually, though. Yeah,
hmm
but
Like, is this like the monsters from this game literally like real things, or is it like psychosis or stuff like that?
oh no, they're real. Yeah,
Pretty much real. Okay.
it's not psychosis. No, you. Speaking of psychosis, what is it?
Speaking of psych, yeah,
5 days.
you now you notice you notice why I talked about that, right?
5 days, people. We'll be playing Hellblade 2. Ow!
Finally, finally. Ah, goddamn! Like I've been waiting for this game for such a long time. Like Jesus Christ! Like they decided to review this game with the review of the Xbox Series X, and out of the sudden, like everyone thinks, it might be, it might come out pretty soon. Then, no,
Nope.
of course not. Why would it? Like what? It was it revealed in what?
Well,
2018?
we had a little pandemic that happened right there. You know, that kind of
Just a little bit of a pandemic.
just a little bit.
Nothing too crazy. No,
It
nothing too crazy
yeah,
about
it
it. Like
just
it,
threw
just,
everybody off a little bit.
I mean, just a bit of flu. Nothing so serious. But yeah, I don't know. I think they just need to work harder. Okay, I'll stop right there. Otherwise, I'm going to be canceled because
Yes,
I'm acting like an asshole.
yes. Thember Pine Harbor has got some mixed reviews. I've read some of them, and uh, so it does not. This game in no way holds your hand. It's kind of one of those where I mean it is early access, so a lot of the early access stuff doesn't have. Hey, what's up, Infinite Umbra? What's up, dog? How's it going?
Yo, Umbro, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So what is Bushido doing here?
Oh, come on.
Why
Come
is
on.
Bushido in chat now?
But like I was saying, a lot of the early access games don't have they have little to no tutorials, so it's kind of, you just kind of learn as you go.
Hmm.
Yeah. You ready for another
Mm-hmm.
you ready
And you
for
suffer with it?
you ready for another jump scare? Yeah?
I'm not looking at it.
No,
Fuck
why?
you. I'm not look. I'll. No, I
Well,
won't.
no,
Nope.
this
Nope.
it's not really a jump scare. It caught me off guard because I'm kind of looking around at the town and everything. I'm looking over at him, and we're going down the street, and all of a sudden, I look back around front, and there's people running at the truck, and we crash into a building.
So that's the jump scare.
It scared me.
Yeah. Okay. Like you are going to be quite surprised by that.
Oh, in this game, it did look a lot better. But I was running it to start out with at 1440p with all ultra settings with DLSS
Mhm.
3.5 set to high ultra quality. But
Oh, of course.
my G, my
You and
GPU,
your PC from that.
my GPU was running hot. So it wasn't running
Mm-hmm.
hot, but I really didn't. The sound of the fans it was annoying me. So I backed it off to high settings instead of ultra settings. So it still does look good in Unreal Engine 5 at high settings, but I it looked a lot better in ultra settings. It was like realistic, like yeah.
Mm.
But
God damn.
that's what happens.
What about a- and the performance? Like a 60 FPS all the way through it, or?
Yes, yes. I've actually my overlay, my MSI Afterburner, my overlay up there in the top corner. of the screen is reading the CPU, GPU, the GPU memory used, and the frames per second, and it's a rock solid 60. I think
Noise.
I saw a fall to 58 when I was in ultra settings, but it didn't go any lower than 58. Umbra, this game is called Pine Harbor. It is in early access right now on Steam. It is a like a horror slash mystery survival. Yeah, and I think it got mixed reviews again, Fabio, because it doesn't hold your hand at all. It doesn't tell you. Like, I ran around here for a while and got killed by these creatures because I didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I figured out, bring
Mm-hmm.
up my menu and look at my map, and it'll show me there's a little check mark and a circle on my map telling me where to go. And then I knew where to go. And so I just went
Like
there.
the
Yes.
like it doesn't kind of make sense for them to, if this is a survival horror game, doesn't make more sense than for them to just not hold your hand too much, so you can feel like all like alone and disturbed by the facts that are happening, then you get fucked.
I guess. But yeah. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of survival games get ready to hit that I'm really excited about. I've wish listed some of them. The latest video by Game Ranks. Shout out to those guys. I love what they do. They just put out a video yesterday of the top 20 already released this year or coming later this year survival games. They nice pick of the litter they had. I had three of them I hadn't heard of before that I had to go on Steam and wish list. Yeah, if y'all are wondering, if you don't
Awesome.
know how Steam works, you wish list it, and it's kind of a feedback to the developer, letting them know how many people are looking forward to their game, and it will also alert you when a game you wish listed has become available or has gotten an update on a release. That way, you don't have to constantly keep remembering to go to their page and look, because you may think a game is cool, look at their page and be like, oh, okay, well, I'll keep track of that. And then you forget about it. You never keep track about it until it's already out and people are making a big deal about it. But if you wish list it, then you're kept in the know, and it also lets the developer know you're interested in what they got cooking. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll turn Fabio here into a PC Master Race crony by this time next year. I guarantee it.
No, never. Never. I just can't stand PC games. Sorry.
Really?
I'm so sorry to everyone. I'm sorry. Like, I work with computers all the time, so like, not necessarily like I'm not tech. I like it. Not necessarily I have some or any sort of technical expertise towards it, but like I usually do simulations and chemistry calculations and quantum chemistry over and over again on computers every time. So computers are like just work to me. I
And
just can't at all
and
be
the
relaxed by
and the
playing on a
early
PC. Okay.
the early access on Pine Harbor right now, on Steam, I think is only $13, 13 US dollars for early access. And if you,
And the moment you buy it, you get the full game for
yeah,
free after getting
yes,
buy. Oh,
yes,
that's nice.
if you are part of an early access on Steam, and let's say you early access a game for $20, and then that game hits a full release, and all of a sudden after a full release it's $40. You paid $20 because you early access. When you early access a game, you're allowed to give feedback through the developer page and let them know what's going on, what you ran into. Of course, they get metadata from you on your crashes and whatnot, on what you've had. Oh my god, we've got a professional in the house.
Oh my god. Oh my lord. Umbra joined the Discord. What the fuck are you doing there?
First of all, I didn't give you too many warnings about that Umbra thing. Second, I saw you guys talking. I was like, man, would somebody shut Fabio up? And I said, you know what? I'm the only one with the balls to do it. So I came in.
So you came here to just say for me to shut the hell up? Is that what you're telling me?
Right.
Yes.
Ah, great. I'm so great to see you there, Umbra.
Oh my. They sound nothing alike, guys. Gosh,
Nothing
Of
at all.
course
nothing
they are
alike.
exactly the same person. I'm pretty sure of it. That's just voice modulation with the same mic.
There are only a few people I know that was like, where does that come from? And they're like, yeah, it sounds nothing like them. It's like, it may be like 3 people that felt that way. But everybody else, nah, no, they think, they think it's all fun and games.
Oh, so hey, brother, how are you doing?
Good, man. I'm making it. At least trying to.
Oh my lord,
Love
man! Like next time, can we just stick with yes, I'm good, or no, not so much? Like
Oh my God.
yes, yeah, I'm making it, or at least I'm trying. So what happens if you don't try? So I mean,
Oh,
is everything okay there?
yeah, yeah. Mr. Bush is right as rain.
Yeah, thank God.
He's chilling like a villain, too glad to be illin'. That's right. You heard me.
And
Right.
and of course, keeping the professionalism. Even though he just like showed up just to tell me to shut the fuck up, but okay, I'll just ignore that. Thank you so much, Bushido. Love you, brother.
Oh, look at
Fabio
that.
Omarine.
Yep, Marine. You know, we were so happy when we finally figured out how to pronounce his last name. That we were so happy that I think for like 2 shows, we literally said his whole name because we were so happy that we could pronounce it.
I do remember that. Like I remember especially when like Noof Nukem heard you say my last name for the first time, and then he was like, "Wait, are you calling him a moron? Like a Fabio? I'm a moron? Is that what you're
No.
calling him? Like what the fuck?"
No, sir.
Ah, Jesus.
So, Bush, you been playing anything, sir?
Remnant 2. I
Nice.
went back to DLCs.
Just that?
Dude,
Yep.
I'm lost in Remnant 2 right now. I
I
don't
think
know.
just that. All you play is Halo.
I just. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, so right now on screen you see me running. You see me running around trying to find a way inside because that girl that I met after I was in the crash, she told me don't get caught out at night, and I'm like, like the alarm just went off that she set for me, and I'm trying to find a way in out of the dark, and I can't. Everything's locked up. Yeah.
What game are you playing? In this video?
It's called Pine Harbor. It's in early. It hit early access on Steam on April 24th.
Oh.
It's on Unreal. It's built.
No worries,
yeah. No worries.
No worries, Bushido. He's not gonna shoot. No worries. He's not gonna shoot at anything for us to complain about the gameplay.
I love ripping his gameplay though. It's funny.
It's amazing. Like it just gives us so many arguments to say, Bob, what the hell were you doing back there?
It was either
it
was either the Pine Harbor gameplay for tonight's show, or it was me showing everybody me replaying that video from Sniper Elite 5 and listening to you two go on and on about me missing a guy point blank coming up the steps beside me. Yeah. I wasn't going to put myself through that again. I wasn't. So that's why we're not watching that video.
You're not fun at all.
I know.
Like we were just I'm sorry if we have so much fun witnessing you shooting at the wall and then just moving the cursor across the screen to hit the fucking guy that is on your side.
God.
I remember the Nazi came up the step. He came up all pretty clear. I was like, yo, what you doing? Oh
Like
man.
that stairs.
I was like, still sniper.
I
He
mean,
used to take that stairs.
I was trying to be like the guy from Mr. Deeds. You underestimate the level of sneakiness. I was so sneaky that he didn't know the bullets were whizzing past his head. That's how
And by
sneaky
the
I
way, like
was.
it's and by the way, like the name of the game is Sniper Elite. It's not SMG Elite. He's not supposed to be that good with an SMG, okay? He's just supposed to be good with a sniper.
Oh, shots thrown in the chat. Thought shots thrown. Timmy, what's up, Sleepy McSleeperson Senior, Infinite Umbra, and Mr. Bushido?
Remember, my man.
Sleepy McSleeperson Senior.
Umbra here.
Ah. Oh goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You got my ass
Okay.
kicked in this game.
What
Yes.
what we got for tonight, man?
Well, if you haven't noticed the thumbnail for tonight's show, it is Square Enix.
I knew Assassin's Creed is coming, so
Oh.
yeah.
Square Enix presents no more exclusives. That's right. Square Enix is tired of watching everybody make all this money and not them. Who's seen it coming? I did. I seen it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, is anyone surprised by that?
no.
Borderline.
All right. Peace out, Umbra. Have a good show, brother.
Yeah, check
bro.
you out later.
Umbra going to get a fix. That's right. He's going to get a fix.
He's gonna get fake.
On a fix. On the fix. The Fix by Infinite Umbra. Yes.
Oh, they say he was gonna get fixed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, so yeah, Square Enix has just announced its reports, and for what everyone was saying before that, yeah, they would probably go multiplat. Like either, in my opinion, there were like two options of what would be happening with Square. Either Sony would acquire Square Enix, which I think it would be a really good fit for them, honestly, considering like the exclusive deals that they managed to get, especially with Final Fantasy, like it is a historical franchise on PlayStation. Especially when it comes to Final Fantasy VII, which was on the PlayStation One, la di da, or it would end up becoming multiplat, and if not, they would just get shut it down because, yeah, I'm sorry, but apparently, for what I saw, like people are not buying that much of those new Final Fantasy games for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too. The sales have been for most PlayStation games.
It's because they're
pretty
too busy.
meager.
They're too busy
Yeah,
playing Twitter. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, they've been really, really up and down. And some of the games they're not supporting.
No, but like you need to. There's also a mention of a pretty big amount of games that they've released. It seems that like none of those games actually hit the metrics that they wanted, or something like that, right? Like 50 games that they released, or something like that,
Yeah.
and they didn't manage to get as many sales that as they wanted. And so you're like, what's going on with Square? It's definitely like not just the fault of exclusivity there, I think.
This is true. Yeah. It's all about the dollar
Yeah, I
bills,
agree.
y'all.
It's just
Always.
it's just weird to see PlayStation games in general struggle. It's just odd to me. It started with Spider-Man 2, Ratchet and Clank, Returnal I can understand. But the rest of the other games, that Samurai game just came out. That one didn't do too well. And what's the other game? Samurai game. Some other game that came out after that or with that. And it just didn't do. They just didn't do well sales wise. And so Square was like, "Look, man, we losing money. We could be making money off of PC and Xbox, even though PlayStation gave them an advance. That doesn't couple with the losses you make from sales."
I think there's also they would love also to probably like include what um Nintendo, like the Nintendo Switch is a console that has been selling the most in compared to when you compare like the big three.
Yeah.
So they probably would love to get a piece of that Nintendo market as well.
True. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Like again, I'm not trying to say that like Sony kills the Square or something like that, but let's be honest, they kind of are giving their contribution to fuck with Square a little bit with those exclusive deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're after them.
Like, what have they released besides Final Fantasy? Like Final Fantasy 7,
Well, they've
Part 1, Part 2,
they've
Final
published a
Fantasy
lot of things.
16,
Even Rebirth did do well.
Rebirth, yes, okay. Foam Stars, is that from them?
Yes.
Stop playing
Okay.
that.
Okay, okay. For that game, like it totally makes sense why it failed. Honestly, I'm not going to say that I'm shocked,
Oh
but
man.
yeah, okay, fair
I
enough.
saw guys trying to cap online with that. Someone said, "Hey man, it's pretty fun." I was like, "You okay?" Sure. Sure it is.
It is just so fun.
Well,
I thought it was hilarious. I was like, "Come on, man."
I think Square has really had more success with the games they published more than the ones that they've actually made themselves. I mean, when I think
Like
back,
it isn't like
go ahead.
it isn't like Kingdom Hearts from them,
Yes,
and
We talking about
isn't
Final
that a
Fantasy?
success?
but like if you look at like, oh shoot, oh man, I always Outsiders.
Oh, what is it?
Outriders.
What?
Outriders was made by people that can fly.
Outsiders.
But yeah, that was a good movie.
You goddamn foreigners.
Like, stay golden, pony boy. But yeah, it's
Okay, Outriders.
Oh gosh. Uh, but you know, they've published some good games too, and their published games go everywhere. But the ones that they actually make, it just seems like who's got the biggest wallet here lately has gotten exclusivity on those games. But you know, when it comes down to it, I think they took a step back and they're saying, you know, the money that you gave us to keep this on just your platform, we don't think that's more than we'd get if we just released everything on every platform. They got smart.
Yeah.
That's more. Oh
They're gonna
yeah,
start on D&D way earlier. I said it last year. I said, I'm telling you, starting this year, D&D is gonna happen. I don't know when, but I think this year is gonna happen because there's too much money left. It's too much timeshare, mind share that they lose out. It's too much the fact that I don't think they don't charge full price for them, do they?
What?
I don't know now.
Bobby?
Like
I don't know either.
Like honestly, because like we need to make a comparison here. Like for example, when it comes to other Sony games, like I don't know, Ghost of Tsushima, how much is that game on Steam right now? And we need to make a comparison to also like how Helldivers 2 to release and which price tag was given to it, because
$40.
like Ghost of Tsushima on
Yeah,
Helldivers.
Helldivers 2 was $40 on Steam.
And
about,
on PlayStation, how much it is it on PlayStation? Wait.
I
Wait.
thought it was.
Good question.
I thought it was.
For once.
Let me check
$40
here. Let me check. Let me. I'm curious now. I'm curious because this could be interesting. Breaking news, everybody.
Ghost. So you
check.
can get the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut on Steam right now for $59.99, $60.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
So
it's just
it
$10
is all,
left
okay. So it is the same price tag on
as it
PlayStation as well
originally
for
was.
Helldivers 2.
right, but that's
Also
because
$40.
Helldivers 2 was a day one release. So I think that's why the prices are identical. If you look at the
Yeah,
games,
but like,
if you look
go,
at
go on, Bob. No worries.
if you look at the games that came out on PlayStation and then a little while later come out on PC, there's always that $10 difference. It's like you're still only paying $60 for a game on PC, but on console you're paying $70. And Sony started that. They were the first ones to hike their prices, and Xbox followed
Yeah.
suit, and now everybody on console is paying $70 for a game. I can't tell you the last
Yes.
time I bought a game on the Switch, so I don't even think I paid attention to the price.
You just go and buy it.
Well, yeah, there's the new Zelda. I had to have it.
I mean, who cares if you just spent 4 months equivalents to your family's food? Like they don't need to eat. They don't.
They
They don't need coats for the They don't need coats for the winter. They
Bob is
just need
rich.
to play fucking
Doesn't
Zelda.
matter.
Word. Bus it.
I mean, he makes
What?
6 figures a year. Medium.
Oh yeah,
6 figures.
oh yeah, he does, of course. Like so 6 to 10 figures, of course.
Wasted.
I told you this before, and it is a fact. Like when it gets really cold in Kentucky for Bob, he prefers to actually just set his entire house on fire just for the chunks of it, so he can get warmer.
He's got a point.
He has so. I mean, he has so many other houses, of course. So why would he not just waste
Mhm.
one of them?
He does have a point, ladies and gentlemen.
You see, there's a confirmation. There we go.
I'm actually upset that my pole barn's made out of steel. I can't burn that. So
My God. And when it comes to wasting money, there's no one better than those big corporations, minus Nintendo, because for some reason Nintendo is actually pretty good at doing money and not spending much. Otherwise, like, they wouldn't be in the position that they are right now.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's gonna be this. I haven't seen anything in the news yet this year that has really hurt gamers as a whole. I mean, it's hurt.
What do you mean hurts?
Well, it hasn't really. If you're a gamer and you play on all platforms, then nothing in the news affects you. But if you're worrying for worrying for one platform, then yeah, there's been already a whole lot this year that has hurt you. So don't-
Especially if it comes to one side of it.
well, I mean, it could be both sides. I mean, what's coming out?
Like
What's coming out on
like the
PlayStation
recent
this year?
news. Good point. Good point. What has come out from PlayStation this year? I mean, yes, you do have
Nothing.
I mean,
you
so
do have a great points there.
for all we know, behind the scenes, Sony's talking to Xbox, going, "Can you please put more exclusives on our platform because we don't have anything this year."
She's just going third party.
Oh,
And
so toxic.
If anyone starts to brag about just like Team Dog used to do.
No.
I know King Thrash, he had made a post one day that somebody had asked him about Xbox and making games. He was like, yeah, they make games for us now. I was like, who's us?
He's making games for us
Making like
now.
work for
Like,
PlayStation.
apparently he is like the new CEO from Sony.
Must be.
And by the way, when it comes to new CEO, have you guys seen the news about that facts?
Yeah.
Sony now decided that he got a new CEO. Like PlayStation has a new CEO that is going to
That's right. Okay.
substitute Jim Ryan, and they decided to go with, instead of one person to assume the job,
Takes two
they
to
went
do
with
the
two.
job.
Yep.
Yes, they
two.
decided to go with two. One CEO that is going to be Herman Host, which honestly I think this is great. Like Herman Host, in my opinion, is equivalent to the Phil Spencer
I
of
agree.
PlayStation. Like that
I
guy
agree.
gives me the right vibe of, okay, I am a gamer. I'm not a suit like Jim fucking Ryan. So congratulations to PlayStation for making such a good decision, in my opinion. And
Would agree.
another guy, which I just cannot say his name because I don't want to butcher any Japanese, but it's the Keko Keko do Teru Leko Keko.
You did anyway. Anyway, go ahead.
You hate me for that?
But yeah, I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of two CEOs.
You don't like that idea? No, but does kind of make sense when one CEO is going to take care of hardware, and the other one is going to take care of studios and software.
That don't make sense.
How? So why do we have that on Xbox? Why do we have that on Xbox then? Because like the thing, the case for PlayStation is you got Herman Host taking care of PlayStation Studios and software, and you got the other guy which takes care of PlayStation hardware. Both of them answer to the leader of PlayStation, the leader of Sony, which is the CFO, Hiroki Totoki or something like that. And guess what? It's kind of the same thing as Xbox, where Phil Spencer is the CEO of Microsoft's gaming. And Xbox, which takes care of hardware, and you have Matt Booty, who takes care of the studios.
Wow. Were you just jabbing at
Come on,
him?
guys.
Were you just taking a jab at the CFO for his nationality?
No, I actually thought his name was actually that. Sorry about that. Like, what is his name?
I don't know, but it was kind of funny. Didn't you say like Himakuro Totokyo or something?
No, I think it was Hiroki Totoki or so. I don't know. I swear to I did not intend to take a jab on the honorable CFO of Sony.
Didn't you though?
What?
Oh.
What?
I'm just going to ignore you right there. Just kidding. So, what do you guys think? Okay, Bushido thinks it makes no sense. I, for once, like thinking that is way too similar to what Xbox is doing. Honestly, when it comes to like who are the leaders of the game.
This the top guy though. It's not like it's a department. You're talking about CEO, the guy who's rubber stamp stuff. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. If he had a position just for hardware, then I understand that. But he's a CEO. Doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, so like it doesn't make sense just because of the title, or just doesn't make sense because of the they changed the goddamn name, the title. They didn't say like you are the CEO, you are just a motherfucker who takes care of hardware. Would you be okay?
What's up, baby?
Oh!
Hey, what's up, Wise?
Hey, Wise.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I just got back. I had to get into the shower and come back out. So apologize.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You were leading the running charge today, weren't you?
Yeah, I do. I've increased my run to now I do 6 miles a day. So now, yeah.
Eesh.
So
right.
You're gonna
so what happened? Yeah, just a little bit of a brief history of me. I actually one of my scholarships I got for college was a cross country scholarship, and I was building up my endurance times and everything, and I finally I qualified in the Peachtree, which is in Atlanta. Then I qualified in Chicago, back then, and then I did well. I still qualified in Chicago, and then I got placed in Boston, and I was planning on going to Boston, but that was when I got my first bout. My first illness occurred in Boston, so I couldn't go to Boston. It was 2 weeks before I was supposed to go, and one led to the other, led to a third bout of it, and then, because of all the illnesses and stuff, and being on steroids and all the medication, I put on a lot of weight and stuff, and now I'm back to that running phase. And I told my wife one of my things on my bucket list is to go back to Boston and compete. So I'm trying to build up to that. So yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's a dream of mine. I just wanted to do it. I mean, I'm not going to win anything. There are people that do this for a lifetime, and yeah, but it's just to say that you did it. That's just the thing. So yeah, bucket list and being what it is.
You should go run in Philadelphia and then run up to the Rocky statue and start jumping up and down with your hands in the air.
Actually, to be honest with you, I was thinking about doing that sometime back. It was kind of weird that you mentioned that.
I do not give him ideas.
No, seriously, like that would be like a really cool thing. My wife actually hates it that I do it. She thinks that I'm too old to be running, and I'm trading one problem for a long-term problem later on with my joints and everything. But I don't know. I'm pretty cool with it. I mean, I make sure that
keeps you around longer.
What now?
I said if it keeps you around longer,
Yeah, I try to okay. So the problem is that it's fucking Apple. It's fucking Apple, right? Everybody in our house is an Apple person, right? And unfortunately, with Apple. Yeah, it's Apple's fault that I can't run longer. I used to run longer, but then what happens is when you're running on the fitness app and everything, everyone in your family finds out, or your circle of friends. And so my wife kept finding out that I was running 12 miles, 13 miles, 12 miles. She cursed me out. She read me the riot act like nobody's business. And yeah,
you motherfucker, how dare you to run?
Yeah, exactly. She's just, and I told her, I said, I got a pretty good life insurance policy. I told her, I said, you have nothing to worry about, but maybe she just wants to milk me more before she, cashes in that life insurance policy.
I want my Snooky Wookie around as long as possible.
That ain't happening. After 20 years of marriage, there's no Snooky and Wookie unless there's somebody else, other person's name coming in named Snooky and Wookie after I go to work. But
wow, oh goodness.
But Sheena, how you doing?
Good, man. I can't complain.
Yeah. So when are you're gonna lay back one sloppy, greasy, no good for us cheeseburger or a slice of pizza?
I'm still having an issue with food.
Really?
Like I get really bad heartburn, and I never got heartburn before, but I get this heartburn, and it makes me really nauseous. So now I had to change my diet to darn near no salt, and my wife just loves it, and she's been no salted me to death. But it actually is not bad. Some of the stuff she's picked is pretty flavorful. So,
Look, as a person who suffers from IBS, I got a whole lot of drugs that will help you for what ails you. So we'll go out, we'll get some of those greasy burgers and pizzas, and I'll let you pop one of those pills while you're eating one of them. You could put you could sandwich one right between the burger or right between this piece of slices of cheese.
Right.
Take it in. Now, you're full disclosure. What happens to you after you take that pill? I'm not. That is not me. All right.
You are fully responsible. I was about to say that if anything happens to Bushido, we all know what happened.
If we have to call 911 and Narcan you, then it's fucking. I have nothing to do with that. So there you go. Yeah. I would ask KY when are we going to do another burger, but he's probably eating a burger while we're podcasting right now. So yeah.
No, I did that before the podcast.
Oh, you see what I'm talking about?
I actually had
honestly,
I had a prime rib sandwich before the podcast.
Oh damn! I need a prime rib sandwich.
Ooh.
Good.
Honestly, you better lawyer up, motherfucker. We're coming for you.
Yeah, we're in Alabama. We're the capital of tort reform. We got every other billboard is some lawyer or another. Alexander Shannara and God knows who else. Every day is a new lawyer coming up. There's this one chick that she's really hot. I wish I can get into a car wreck just so I can have an excuse to call her. Fine as fuck.
Oh my lord!
Wow.
Please, again, everyone. We were talking about the fucking both new CEOs on PlayStation.
Okay,
And
your
now we're
ass,
talking
your
about
ass invited me to the podcast. Okay, again, not my life.
I am starting to regret it. Can I do it? Are you going to blame me for that?
Yes, it is your fault. You invited the wrong person.
I'm going to.
Okay, so I am starting to uninvite you. You happy now?
Well, if you could put it that way, I'm just kidding.
Well. When I just ask you, please, can you just leave? No, just kidding.
No, don't do that.
Okay, so we're talking about Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, we're
the two
talking about
CEOs.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Actually, we're talking
What
What do
about
you think about that? Why?
Square.
So what do you think of that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I got some of that. Yeah, got a whole bag right here. Yeah.
Some smoked weed. Yeah.
That's
Do you have
right.
the good Kush? The purple? Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's from the blue gummy strain. Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. When you get that type of stuff, it's no puff puff pass. It's just puff puff puff. You get your own motherfucker. You know that's the situation.
Oh.
Well, you know, we have a resident expert with edibles and all sorts of consumables on our panel tonight, right? Bushido, would you care to share?
No, I don't. I'm just telling.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
It,
Oh,
mi- yeah,
wow.
it's a drug effects. All right, so there you go. There you go. But
No worries, everybody. No
And-
worries. Here's a disclaimer. It's just the drugs.
Man, let me tell you something. I don't know what he's talking about, man. No idea.
Oh man.
Oh
Nah.
man.
so where'd y'all leave
Amazing.
off? Who you're talking about? The CEO or Herman
Yeah.
Holtz's new position?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about that. Herman Holtz and the other guy, new position.
There's really not much to say about that guy, right? Like Herman Holtz, the only time I've ever seen him on Twitter is like when he's getting a new haircut or something like that. You know, he posts that shit. That's about all I know.
I mean, nothing related to the acquisitions that PlayStation made. You saw from him. He just posts on Twitter to talk about his haircuts. He's never telling me.
That's all he
Yes.
does. He talks about his haircut, his toenail clippings, his all this other shit. But you know,
Yep.
The worst part is that I can't deny it. This motherfucker just posts about that and that's it.
there you go. You know, and I can understand why Sony chose him, right? Because he makes all the female PlayStation gamers thirsty. That's all I gotta say. You know, like he has
Oh, my.
he has that profile pic, that CEO profile pic that they get, and he has that little chiseled chin and everything like that. And you know, the women go crazy. You know.
Well, you wanna see the true PlayStation VR? Let me show you
Yeah.
or something.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Come on, please.
Yes.
Sorry. Well, there you go. There you go.
That's right.
So,
Okay, we are officially canceled. I think we did our parts here.
No. We haven't gone near far enough yet. You gotta hop down.
Hey,
that
we haven't
rabbit
even
hole a
touched
little
the-
more.
We even couldn't even touch a topic, right? So that's it.
just
but-
when you think you've crossed the line, I push the goal a little bit further down. That's all.
So, hey, so Wise, what do you think about Square Enix finally breaking that wall down?
Oh, wow. No shit. You mean to tell me you put your game on one fucking platform and you don't make any goddamn money when the one platform you put it on, they have a hard fucking time selling their own games on their own fucking platform? Wow. What a fucking thought. You know, that's just, it does make sense to me. You know, it's like, come on now. It's common sense is common sense here. Okay. Square has always, I've always enjoyed, let me just say this as a disclaimer. I've always enjoyed their games. I'm a huge RPG fan. Square and
No, you're
Enix.
not.
I am a huge RPG fan. What the fuck do you know about RPG? You can barely spell RPG.
No,
Shit,
it's because here's the thing, What's Up Gamer. Like every time someone says I do something like this or I like this and that, I just say no, you don't. Out of
I have
nowhere.
the original Final Fantasy Tactics on my PS1. The PS1 disc of Final Fantasy Tactics, not the greatest collection one with the green thing shit going on inside. The OG. I still got Einhinder. Do you know what Einhinder is?
Is it related to Eisenberg?
The stuff you put on your eyes.
Huh? Come again? What did you
Stuff
say?
put on your eyes.
No, it is the one and only side-scrolling shooter that Square Enix ever made.
Einhinder?
Einhinder.
Is it-
E-I-N.
Okay. Is that a German word or something like that? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
it is. And I'm totally butchering it. I do not know the actual pronunciation. You probably know better than I do, but it's spelled
Probably.
E.
Probably it's Einhinder. Probably, but like I just don't know the meaning of it.
Oppenheimer, huh?
No,
heard
not
of it.
Oppenheimer. Einhinder. It was
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer
No,
movie. You old. Come on.
if it ends with Heimer, it can only be Oppenheimer, of course.
Well, no, it was actually, to be honest with you, it was a phenomenally good game because it was like you picked one of 3 ships and you picked your loadout and you had to go from left to right, and it was like 2.5D polygonal. It was really good. It's like for fans of people, fans of like Gradius and games of the ilk, like what was that game called? Ikagura, the one that where you change the polarity and stuff like that. I don't know. It's definitely a good game.
I forgot what game that is.
Yeah, I think it's Ikagura, right? The one that where you change your polarity and you can absorb some bullets without.
I forgot.
I mean, yeah. So like those, that's my thing with Square. Square, they make for me some of the good games, and of course I'm a huge Dragon Quest fan. I've been playing Dragon Quest all the way back from Dragon Warrior Day on the NES.
Mhm.
But their games have been typically very, very niche. Like it only is a subset of a population that really likes it. And
But like,
go ahead.
That's
but like,
true.
it's not like every single game that they've released, either as a developer or as a publisher, were exclusive. There were multi-plat games as
Their
well. I think,
main, no,
like,
come on now. Their
they
big
just
ones.
don't they just don't perform well. So like they are fucked anyway sometimes.
No, you don't get it. First of all, look, okay, their key tentpole franchise is what? What
Yes,
is everyone?
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy.
And Kingdom Hearts. Okay, fair
Persona.
enough.
Okay, well, we're gonna fucking ignore Kingdom Hearts. That shit ain't coming out till 2030. Till I'm a
You ain't
grandfather.
kidding, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
shit.
no-
Next, you know.
Yeah, no worries. I understand. Okay, Final Fantasy is that.
Final Fantasy.
Hey,
Final
Wes,
Fantasy. Yes, sir.
Thember wants you to type the name of that Square Enix game that you mentioned into the chat. I think he wants to look it up, but he doesn't know how to spell what you said.
Einhinder. Okay.
Yes,
Um,
that one.
Einhinder.
Let me pull up
Well, he
my.
could just speak into his search. You know, he doesn't have to use his hands.
Hey. EINH is the first 4 letters of the word. And
Hinder, so it's going to probably be HEINDER, I think. Hinder.
I'm gonna be completely honest. The first time I heard him say it, I thought he was talking about doing something behind her.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
has it been that
When it
long?
comes to-
Has it been that long, KY? I mean, your name is KY. Has
I
it been
mean-
that long?
I mean, Bushido, are you going to blame Bob there? Like, we are talking about Wizo Gamer here. Like,
That's right.
That's totally like
Right. That's
something
totally
you
right
must
up,
be
Be
saying.
serious.
right up Wise's alley, right there.
Like, Wizo, please do not pretend to be offended because you are this type of person that would say something like that.
I am fucking offended. No, just kidding.
You are sure.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, I take that back. God damn it. No, I'm just kidding. No, Einhinder. I thought at first when I looked at it, I thought somebody once told me about this game a long time ago on the PlayStation 1. I didn't really know about it. One of my friends told me about it. I thought he said unhand her, you know? I'm like, dude, I want to play a game called Unhand Her. I'm like, oh, dude, yeah, maybe that's not the type of game you need to be playing, you know? That's all I'm saying.
Well, think about it.
But
I don't
Einhander,
know.
it's
If you're saying unhand her,
I
then
don't
you're the
know
you're the
what would
good
be
guy,
worse.
right? Hey, unhand her.
That's right. That's true.
It all depends on the context that you're in the situation.
We have just
That
can't
revitalized
be
an
a lot of-
old game by giving
Yeah,
it a
it
bunch
is-
of
it-
memes.
well, you know, maybe that might bring it back though. Like I'm wanting a new one. I want a new update to this game. I think the game was. I think because of the way the gaming industry is going these days, there's only one type of game that seems to be reverberating, and every studio seems to be making that one type of game, which is like this pseudo open world, over the shoulder, one guy or one gal versus the fucking world situation scenario. You know, we like back in the day with the NES and the Super NES, and like think about it. We had shooters, we had platformers, we had of course RPGs, we had your puzzle games. You had all these different genres. You don't get that anymore, and big releases on those genres. Like you had big platform releases like Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper, and of course famously Ratchet and Clank. You had big shooters releases like Life Force, Gradius, Ikagura, and all of these that used to come out. You don't get that anymore. You don't get the variety. You seem to get like either it is a free to play, a looter shooter, or a third person over the shoulder type game. You know,
Or a battle royale.
or yeah, looter shooter type or battle royale. Yeah, that type of thing. And it's like okay, which one is it going to be? Like, okay, Ubisoft's new thing that they talked about, they came out this week, was the Shadows. Yep. Okay. Again, it is. Yes, you're playing as one or two protagonists, and you can do a stealth mission. You can do a stealth build. You could do a tank build, but again, it is basically the same third person, open or pseudo open world, over the shoulder, you know, kill 'em up thing, you know. So yeah, I think because of consolidation and because budgets have sort of ballooned to an exorbitant amount, I think we've lost quite more than we've gained as gamers. And I think there's some of the things that we lost are genres. And yeah, nobody's even making a good shooter anymore. Can y'all think of a good side scroll shooter like in the vein of Gradius or anything like that? Or
No.
what was that,
No.
R-Type back in the day? Yeah, like
Our type
no-
was a joint.
yeah, man. Remember, like you go to the arcade, there would be a line for R-Type, dude. You know, and you just don't get that type of shit no more. You know?
Wise,
And it's-
you've been fact checked. Yes.
Yeah. So, am I right or wrong?
Einhander was it was created by an independent studio before Square Enix called SquareSoft. They were independent.
Oh, I forgot it makes a bit.
And there
Name
was
Square.
Square Enix. Square. That was prior, before they bought
Right.
Enix. Square was
No.
Square. Enix was Enix. They bought. They came.
there
one, I
was
think,
a
like that.
fusion between
It's-
Enix and SquareSoft. Yeah.
It's because here's the thing. It was Round Enix before, and then they became Square. So yeah.
Son of a bitch. Oh
You
my
like- okay,
god.
Okay, after that, I'll have my dinner. Okay, I'll be back soon enough, boys. See you
All
later.
right, guys.
So
Oh,
here's
God.
I'll be
here's my
back.
thing.
No worries.
If your claim to fame is niche games, then you need to sort of cater to all demographics or all population builds. That means your game should be on all platforms: PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whatever. And it is a crying shame that, you know, okay, I understand that, you know, maybe Sony came up with a bankroll and said, okay, you know, make this exclusive for us. But you already saw the numbers, okay? You saw what Final Fantasy Remake did. You saw what Final Fantasy 16 did. You were not happy with those, and you still chose to proceed as nothing happened. I agree, you had obligations, but there has to be some sort of like back clause that could have been done or something. For example, Octopath Traveler came out. on Nintendo famously was exclusive to Nintendo, and then it came on PlayStation. Then when it went on Game Pass, that's when it sort of made a huge inroads into the Western market. And then when they announced Octopath Traveler 2, guess which platform was the one platform they did not bring it to?
Xbox.
Xbox.
Well, it's coming to Xbox, but it's coming this year.
Well, but I did it already.
And it's coming to Game Pass.
But dude, anyone who wanted to play that game has already played it.
Yeah, but I want to play it again.
Yeah,
I do.
But how many people are in your boat?
Why?
Yeah.
Don't challenge. Just accept. Just accept what is.
No, but then they're wondering where the fuck did their money go? I mean, dude, it don't take a brain surgeon to do this. I did brain surgery. This shit ain't it. Trust me. Okay, come on now.
Yeah, but you're doing yourself though.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing to be found, but that's a different story. But yeah, but yeah. But I mean, it makes sense. Okay, yeah. If you were an Activision, well, not Activision. If you were like releasing a game that of the caliber like a Call of Duty or a GTA 6, where it's a console seller type thing. Yeah, I can understand. Then your population will follow you wherever you go.
Right.
Your games are not that. Your games are good games. Don't get me wrong, but they're not going to motivate somebody to move platforms.
They're not big as they used to be.
Exactly.
They're just not. A lot of these companies, I know, it used to drive me bananas that New Fall Waves was like, I want a new banjo. And I kept telling them, I said, Noof, that was our generation. Like the new generation, they're not into games like that. That game wouldn't sell. And it was like, no, if you make it, it'll sell. I was like, nah, man, it just won't. It just really won't.
You don't think a new banjo would get traction?
No, it would sell some, but it wouldn't get it like the way people think it is. People think it'll be a on borderline system seller, and it wouldn't be.
That's got a point.
I mean, it depends. Like, okay, here's the thing, right? You look at Nintendo, right? And you look at Nintendo knows their market very fucking well. They know.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and they you see the financial success that they have. Basically, third parties have said bye-bye to them a long time ago, and they're still able to. They're on track of releasing probably the second most popular console of all time. You know, I think like Switch is like at 145 million units, and I think they're projected to sell 10 million more this year, which is going to make it, if they achieve that goal, a sell-through number greater than the DS, which the 3DS DS family, which is second only to PlayStation 2 when it comes to total volume sales. So, and they're doing it from their first-party situation. They know what they have. They know that how many of a certain game they're going to sell. They know how many Mario Karts they're going to be forecasted to sell in the lifespan of that game. They know how many Zeldas they're going to sell. They know how many Marios they're going to go and sell, 3D Marios. And they base their budgets off of that. Now, if they're going to make another Banjo, thinking that it's going to freaking be the next incarnation of sliced bread and put $300 million in it, then of course they're not going to make their money. Now, if they say, okay, you know what, this is going to be like something to the akin of a Psychonauts level penetration, we might get about 10, 15 million units or 20 million units, or at 10, 15 million units sell combined in the lifetime, maybe even 20 million.
They sell like 38 every time, man. When it's a popular game, it's ridiculous.
But you know, you can forecast, right? You got people, you got pencil pushers, you got actuaries, you got people who do these numbers all the time. That's what they get paid. What they get paid. They know how many they can forecast to sell. Make your game fit the forecast. It's very fucking simple. Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, 6 fucking years, including advertisement. Total budget was like a little bit shy of 200 million. 6 years of development, and that's the biggest game Nintendo has ever made. Ever. So my point being is, yeah, I think there is a market. Just like there is a market for a new Ratchet and Clank, there's a market for Sly Cooper. There's a market for all of these games, but you've got to, know your
limited. Because listening to kids, man, they're just like They're not into games with stories. They're not into platformers. They're just into the Fortnites and Apexes of the world, which is terrible. But to me, they weren't ruining gaming. If you want to worry about somebody ruining gaming, that they were ruining gaming.
They're into that because that's their means of social connect. I mean, I've always wondered the same thing too, Pachito, but I've been watching my kids quite extensively and what they do in these games. And
Mhm.
it's Fortnite is less of, in my opinion, and this is just from my perspective, I don't like Fortnite. I do not like any battle royale type games,
Neither why.
particularly. But I can't discount what they created. They've created basically what amounts to a social media app for this generation, and that's their
Yes.
social media app. Okay, it's not a
Yes.
game, more of a social media app. So,
Yeah.
but they do play games. I mean, you can't look. You look at something like the Switch, which has very few of these types of games that we think the next generation really caters to, but they still have sold quite a bit.
You can
And
forget about JRPG. That's because we're still around. That's why. You talking to younger kids? I don't think so. Like well, listen, I know my grandkids aren't all the kids in the world, but taking it as a focus group, they're just not interested. One of my grandkids is slightly interested. I'm hoping as he gets older, he'll get more mature. But the older, nah, he's just not. He's not interested at all. Not even a little bit.
well, there is something to be said that, gaming tastes and preferences evolve just like any taste in life. Like, I mean, back in the day, I used to hate broccoli and cheese. Now my go-to vegetable is broccoli and cheese,
Right.
So,
Me too. Yeah.
palates change. And I think that, yeah, you can say that maybe if they're 10 or 12 or 13 and they're that tween teen level or young teen level, yeah, then maybe. But as they go into college or into the workforce and they encumber more responsibilities, they mature not just physically but mentally, they start looking into other types of genres. Like one of the main reasons I don't play online games as much as some of you guys do is because, dude, my job is like constantly interacting with people on a day-to-day basis. And when I want to wind down at night, the last thing I want to do is strap on a headphone and start listening to people talk about my mother and who she slept with.
Your sexuality.
Yeah. So I think that, you say they're not interested in it. You have a point, but I think that they do go into phases. And the reason I say that is my elder was in that same boat. He was never interested in it at that age, but now he's gone to college. People have introduced him to these older RPGs like Suikoden and Grandia and Secret of Evermore. I don't know if you all remember that from the SNES days. Illusion of Gaia, and he is just like all RPG all the time. Like I never would have thought my son would play a Persona game, my elder, but dude, he's playing Persona. So you say that, but it's an evolving taste because as people mature and change, their tastes in what they like and what they don't like changes.
Yeah, I do agree.
But the main problem here, the main crux is Square Enix has put too much money in these games thinking that, oh, wow, we're going to do a 30 million seller, 40 million seller. And while, hopes are good to do that, why do you want to assume something of this when your genre is niche, And it doesn't make any sense for you to do that. Nobody in the right mind. Remember back in the day, when a game would sell 1 million units, people would say, wow, that was a phenomenal game seller. Now you sell 1 million units, it's a fucking failure,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And there is something inherently wrong with that, dude. I mean, there's something inherently wrong where if you can sell 1 million, 2 million, even 5 million copies and you still don't even break even, there's something inherently wrong with that. Something inherently, either you made your projections way too ambitious or you just don't know your population.
You spend too much money making this game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I think Thimbler says, "Wise, you sound too young to have a son going to college." Okay. Yeah.
Have you
My
not?
my
Have you never
What?
seen this
He's got a
old?
good looking kid too.
Have you never seen this old fucker on camera? What are you talking about?
Well, mentally speaking, if you ask my wife, she would tell you that I matured up to the age of 10 and for some unexplained reasons just
He's
stopped.
just
Oh goodness.
And you know what? And you know what? I say thank fucking God because I would much rather be a 10-year-old mentality than have some of these the mentality of some of these motherfuckers on Twitter. Trust me. So yeah.
Well,
yeah,
some of them didn't make it past 5.
Exactly. Some of them
dudes
didn't go back
in
to
the
5.
military. I was like, you defending our country?
No, I mean, think about it. 10-year-olds, you put 10-year-old, like, the thing is this, right? Like, I don't have any problems being called a suppressed youth or somebody who's living vicariously through his kids and stuff, because the way I look at it, right? When you're a kid, you don't look at anything. You just look at friend, not friend. The only thing that used to make a difference back in the day, whether they were a girl or not, because girls had cooties up to 6th grade, and after 6th grade, then they stopped having cooties. They started having something else, and you wanted what they had.
Wow.
But
And it's still around with cooties.
and you still do, yeah.
Yeah.
Circle, dot, dot. Now I got my cootie shot. You know how it works. So, but it's kids. They just naturally gravitate towards each other. As we get older, we start putting all these barriers in front of ourselves.
Yeah.
Gamer, non-gamer, casual gamer, PlayStation gamer, Xbox gamer, PC gamers, Nintendo gamer. I mean, you name it. We just look for divisions amongst each other. Whereas when you're a kid, you don't look for those divisions. You're happy that you have just another playmate to play with. And I think if we all sort of embrace that philosophy, I think the world would be a better place. And that's just my soapbox for today. So,
amen,
agree.
brother. All right.
I agree.
Yeah. So, well, you guys know me outside of just the podcasting space, and you could say for a fact that that's like my MO. I try to do that. I try to bring people together as opposed to try to find things to, sort of like differentiate us and separate. I mean, we got enough shit in this society that pigeonhole us. You have to check age, sex, religion, profiles, all of that. You don't need another division. So,
Hey,
like,
as
if you're a
soon as-
gamer, you're a gamer.
As soon as I found out you liked good you appreciated good bourbon, I loved you.
Good burger.
Good bourbon.
Well, I
do you
like
mean good
bourbon
burger?
and a burger now. Come on now, a bourbon and a burger. That's a good thing. And now, if you want to go
Look
to
at
the
the
next,
good burger. Gotta have your order.
no, now you want to take the
That's
next
true.
level. Take some of that burger meat and put a little bourbon in it before you grill it. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, it
sounds
tenderizes the
nice.
meat just right. Get some nice 80-20 ground chuck. Put a little bit of bourbon in there just to tenderize it. Put just a little bit of salt, pepper. Make your patty and grill it. I guarantee you, it'll be a phenomenal experience.
Whiskey on the side.
All right.
Yep. Whiskey. Yeah, that's right.
It's
Guys, I
funny. I
mean-
never had a taste for whiskey.
So
Acquired the taste.
have you guys seen the new Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Oh, he left. Yes.
Yeah. That looks good. It looks good. I'm excited. Cautiously excited,
Cautious.
So-
You got to be. It is Ubisoft. You got to be cautious. You never
Well,
know.
it's just one of those things you can't go off of. Like, I used to enjoy the developer behind the scenes because I used to love watching how, like, I've always loved that behind the scenes stuff, and no matter what it is, like, even
Me
when
too.
when you go out to a restaurant, you want to see how your food is being cooked and all that. So what I hate to bring this up, but it's true. Like, I got really burned with Redfall because I watched that developer direct and I was excited for Redfall. And I mean, I'm not saying it was I'm not going to say it's an atrocious game that people were making it out to be, and definitely not to the level it is. I mean, to the level it is now, it's not even that it's not bad at all. But, watching that direct, I was like, very hopeful. And then of course, you got the final product and you're like, yeah, I can see what you were talking about, but it's not exactly 100% there,
Correct.
So what they've shown looks good, but the proof will, as they say, will be in the pudding when it comes out and how it plays. They say the size of the world is approximately, what was it? Origins size, right?
Yep.
which is big enough.
Yeah, which is,
Pretty big.
and that's a good thing too. But that's a good thing, right? Like, I myself am tired of these big ass open worlds where there's not a crap load of stuff to do there. It's just big just to check a box to say our shit is big,
That's Ubisoft those fault because most of the games are like that. If you look at Odyssey, which is listen, I'm not saying none of these games are bad either. Odyssey, Origins,
Valheim.
and yeah,
Valhalla.
exactly. Valhalla. It just doesn't. None of those games. None of those games are small. They are. Listen, they take at least 200 hours to
Or
finish.
Odyssey is not going to take you 200. Odyssey is going to, if you're going to do 100% on Odyssey, you're going to go upwards of that. I think close to
Oh yeah,
3. Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
Fact. I got 250 with the Odyssey, and I'm still not done everything.
God damn. By the way, you guys are talking about the new Assassin's Creed. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I gotta
Oh,
make
okay.
this phone call. I'll be
Just-
back in a second. All right?
Just to get into the topics, okay. Just so I can be 100% sure of what we are talking about here.
Yes. What do you think about it, Fabio?
Honestly, when it comes to Ubisoft games, I was before, like there was a past where I was more excited to see Ubisoft's game trailers, but I don't know, it got to the point where I actually prefer for game to be released, to see what happens, to see how it goes. And then once I see from tons of gameplay videos that okay, it calls my attention, this game, I will try it out. Because like even though I criticize Ubisoft's games, they can still be quite fun. Like there's still
No, they
some
can't. No, they can't.
of course they can. Of course I can. How they're like Immortals Phoenix Rising is not good? Are you
That's
saying that?
You don't get to invoke Immortals Fees Rising. That is a
The
fantastic
fees?
game.
You're talking about Fees Rising? I'm talking about Phoenix Rising.
It's a Phoenix. That game is fantastic. When I beat it,
Yeah.
I actually wanted more.
So yeah, and that was
scrapped it.
a Ubisoft game. That
Yep.
was a fun as a Ubisoft game. Like I saw gameplay for it. I didn't see trailers whatsoever because like after what happened to Watch Dogs, I'm like, okay, you can't trust Ubisoft with trailers anymore. You need to actually wait for the game to be released and see if you are going to have fun with it by seeing gameplays or by actually playing the damn thing. And other examples like believe it or not, Bushido. Yes, I'm going to that direction. I have Skull and Bones. I played Skull and Bones. I didn't
No, you
finish it
No, you
yet.
didn't.
Yes,
No, you
I did.
didn't.
I did. And guess what? Guess what? It may
It's
not
Bobby's
be
fault.
like it may. Yes, it is Bob's fault. You can be sure of that. Okay. You can be pretty sure of that. It is 100% Bob's fault because he was talking about that shit for so long that I got really curious the moment I saw a pretty good deal on in eBay. And I had to pick it up. And guess what? I played the game, haven't finished yet. I need to continue to play that game. And guess what?
Yeah.
It's fun. It is really fun. I don't know how. It hurts me to say that.
I can tell. God, just stretch the hurt out. Go ahead, get rid of it. Let it all out.
I'm sorry.
You just
I'm
stressed that
sorry.
right out.
I'm sorry. Is it a cash grab? Of course, it is a cash grab. Let's be honest. Like the game took
Every
10
game's a cash
fucking
grab,
years.
though.
Like no, but this one is really just like
Hmm.
the definition of a cash grab, honestly. But like, yeah, it can be fun, and no, it doesn't. But it still doesn't justify so much time of development, and as well as so much, and as well so much greed from Ubisoft to, you know what, this game is going to be $70. because it is the first ever quadruple A game. Yay! No, it isn't.
For a quadruple A game, it better look like a cartoon, and it better look on during their face, live action. Like you just can't make that title and it just come out with a regular game. That's just all I'm saying.
What are y'all
Mhm.
talking about? Infinity or what?
No, we were talking about
No,
Ubisoft's games and how
Yeah.
Ubisoft games, even though Ubisoft is pretty shit, the games can still be quite fun.
I don't like the mechanic. Okay, so I guess it boils down to how you like playing your open world. I'm more of a person who enjoys the act of discovery, like just walking around the world and just encountering this thing and that thing. Famously, so I was fell in love with that process when Oblivion came out. When you first came out of the little sewers and everything, and you were walking around and you just saw this little hole in the ground and you went inside. It was like big ass cave and all that other shit, right?
Mhm.
I don't, and I've always loved that mechanic where you're just walking around and things just, you just encounter things. The whole Ubisoft mechanic where you go on this like tower and you scan 360 degrees and you see all of your points of interest. I don't know. To me, that loses, it makes the game somewhat, I don't know.
Shallow?
No, I'm not gonna say it's gonna make it shallow. It just loses some of the sense of discovery, if what I'm saying makes sense. It's like they're robbing you of the pleasure of actually going in that area and hey, this thing is here or that thing is there or wow, I didn't see this thing happen, you know? And again, it's a preference thing, right? It's like everyone has their own things, whether they want mayo on their burger or not. Which, by the way, if
I
you
love
eat
me
a good
on a
burger,
burger.
hey, no, if you got a good burger, you keep that fucking thing plain, dude. Eat the burger, not the fucking mayo.
No,
Come on,
no.
Bushido. Come
the
on
homemade.
now.
If it's homemade, or patties from home, nah, it's got to have mayonnaise on it.
Nah,
Mayonnaise, ketchup, and
man.
mustard.
You know,
And
you've
pickle.
not eaten a good Wagyu burger then.
Megan.
You've not eaten a good Wagyu burger. I gotta take you out one night. We gotta go get some good Wagyu beef and make it a burger, dude. You know. What do you mean you're shaking your head, KY? You're good. Have you ever had a good Wagyu beef burger?
Yes, I have.
And you're gonna put mayo on that. You're gonna slather mayo on that shit.
Bob has a chef. What are you talking about? Makes it for him all the time.
I put a light layer of mayo on the inside of the bottom bun, and that's it.
Okay, I can live with that. No, some people if you ever go to Five Guys and you tell them to put mayo, they fucking it looks like they fucking jizzed all over your burger. You know, like that. I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know, like no, Dan, leave my goddamn burger alone. Stop violating my burger. You know.
It's just so is that what is that the best analogy you can make to Ubisoft games? Like so Ubisoft has
basically,
jizzed over your game? Is that what you're
they're
saying?
robbing me of the pleasure and the taste of the experience, that first bite when the juices and the myoglobin goes inside your throat and you taste the meat and it's like, oh my god, it's so wonderful. But then they slather it with mayo and all that other shit, and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? It feels like you're eating something wrong.
Like,
but
what if the person likes mayo? Is that a problem with that?
no, it's not a problem. It's just okay. That's what I'm saying. From my personal experience, I don't like mayo on my burger. I don't like being told, oh, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, there's this cave, there's this city, there's these objectives to me. No, let me fucking go to the upper right-hand corner and meet those things and figure them out myself, you know? And again, you know, but then I understand with Ubisoft, they put so much time in their games and they put all this content in there. They want people to sort of capitalize on it because they want to sell them more content. So yeah, I mean, I see the thing that they're trying to do, but I don't know. I've never been a big fan of those type of things. Do I still play them? Do I still enjoy them? Yes, I enjoy them for what they're worth, but not my cup of tea.
So like the best, they're not like the best game ever that you have ever played or something like that.
No,
They make really good games though.
And it
Those
should be.
Those games that are titled Assassin's Creed, they're really good games, but it should be titled Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Because it's Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is you are playing as an assassin, right? It's the
That's what it
name
used to
is
be.
well, yeah, it should have been. But then they sort of it's now
Oh wait,
become,
nowadays you what play as a baker?
no,
Fuck.
you went from one modality, right, with the original Assassin's Creed and to a certain extent Assassin's Creed 2, and then it metamorphosized into something that is banal, that is typical. It is another, as I was saying earlier, AAA over the shoulder pseudo open world
Mhm.
game, and it's just more of it, and
But like, let's be honest, that like the change was quite interesting from Assassin's Creed when it came to like Assassin's Creed Origins, because after what Ubisoft was doing before, which they were using the like Call of Duty method of every single year we are going to release a new Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
And
Yes,
not
sir.
just that, but every single Assassin's Creed is going to play exactly the same as the previous one, but we are going to add a little bit here and there and have some new mechanics or a new story or something like that. Like, it got really boring to some point, even though, like, of course, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is one of the best Assassin's Creed games, or even one of the best games ever. Let's be
yeah.
honest about that, but like,
Ooh.
they had to do this change, but it seems that like I played Origins, I also played Odyssey, I still need to play Valhalla, but it seems like I don't know, like it's still quite interesting to play Assassin's Creed. It's still quite fun to play Assassin's Creed because I just fucking love Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was like is to me the best game from the franchise. Like no doubts about that in my opinion. But like it seems that for this change that they went to do a full open world with RPG mechanics and all that kind of stuff, they are going to have to change it once again the formula because they are just hence repeating over and over again. At least it's
No,
not like once every year, like so.
but no game should have a yearly on entry except for maybe
Cadence, yeah. I don't think so
except for
either.
maybe sports, but and even sport games, like you can update the
No, I guess
rosters.
it's just a roster updates. Like you get Madden NFL. It is literally just that.
Yeah, but it's okay. Apart from those games, no other game should have an annual release because think about it this way: it's the same philosophy as like saying they're basically saying, hey, these guys like chimichangas. Let's feed them fucking chimichangas for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day of the fucking week, 52 weeks out of the year. It's it's like I'm like, yeah, I like chimichangas, but dude, come on now. No, but
Let's feed them chimichangas and put some mayo in that.
no,
That's
Jesus.
right. Put the mayo in there.
Just to fuck with
Can I cancel this bastard? Can I cancel this bastard? It's
All right.
20 fucking chimichangas in a minute.
So
Okay, here's the question. But I do have a question for you, KY.
yes. Shoot.
Okay, so we've been asking Ubisoft to release an Assassin's Creed in Japan for the longest time. But then that was pre Ghost of Tsushima, pre all of the other games that sort of fit the niche, if you will. Now you have Ghost of Tsushima, you got The Rise of Ronin, you've got
Sekiro.
You got all these other games that this game is now going to be compared to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my question to you is, do you think it would have had more success had they released this game earlier prior to that versus now? Or do you think that the fact that it's coming into this now already populated genre, a subgenre, if you will, is going to have an effect on their sales?
It's going to have an effect. I think they've missed the train. They should have struck when the iron was hot, but they let the appetite get filled by other games from other developers, and now it's not going to be. It may be a good game, but is it going to get the exposure that it deserves? Probably not, because like you said, it's going to be stuffed into this category that's already been filled by these other bangers.
Mhm.
Right.
So
What do you think, Bachito?
No, I agree. I think that sometimes when they make sequels, some of the sequels, like in movies, they're so late in the mind share. Like I loved the first Avatar, but the second one, by the time it came out, I didn't care anymore.
Mhm.
Literally, I was like, I don't care about the movie. But I did see it. It was good. You know, it wasn't great, but it was good. But I yeah, when you strike when the iron's cold, man, it's not gonna do nothing for you.
What do you think the sail through is going to be, Fabio?
Say it again.
Honestly,
How many do you think they're gonna
honestly,
sell?
I think that the main problem is not necessarily the time. For like, it took them really a long time to finally do an Assassin's Creed in Japan, but I think the main problem is their it's like it is what they have become, because everyone knows how exactly is the Ubisoft profile nowadays. No, especially like they can they still do great games? Of course they can. Like, you got that Metroidvania Prince of Persia that they released at the beginning of the year, and people say that it is really amazing. But you also got a game that people really fucking hated, just like Skull and Bones. So, and everyone considers that, okay, Skull and Bones had the more attention, and they wasted the most money to develop that game. So they are going to Ubisoft is going to like give more priority or something that is going to be like a fucking generic live service game, which is just there just to be a platform, and you can spend monetization money over and over and over and never stop doing it. There's going to be a bunch of things that are going to be filler and are not going to be important, but it's still, there's going to be some core gameplay which is still fun. So again, I don't think that the issue is that
What is
they
going to sell? They got two big games coming out this year. Okay, as far as we know, they got Outlaws and they got Assassin's Creed. Which one's going to sell more?
Assassin's Creed.
Mm.
Assassin's Creed, honestly, because again, it's because of the reputation that they got themselves with. Because look at what they've done with Outlaws. That's a great example. Look at what they've done with Outlaws. Look at those special fucking editions that they've announced. And like, you're telling me, and they are like just going to give one mission, the Jabba mission, just exclusively to the guy that decides to buy that giant fucking expensive Ultimate Edition from Outlaws, or
walked
the
around that
guy
one, though.
or the guy that uses the subscription from Ubisoft. So like, seriously,
Yeah.
that's the way you are manipulating people to get what you want? Seriously?
It could be a good game,
So
Basically.
but it could be a good game, but you know what you've done, like, and it
yeah,
doesn't.
there's
It doesn't even matter whether you
there's
did
a stage there.
before release or during right after the game's released. Helldivers is already tarnished. I mean, Helldivers is not going to get back to where it was, and
Yes, it
Outlaws
won't.
is going to miss its mark because of what they've done before release. That price of that game is ridiculous. We're talking about cosmetics in a single player game. Like,
But you know they got the same crap. They got the same crapola going into this game too. They've not showed their entire hand in this game yet. Okay, they are still holding a lot of stuff out. You know they've piecemealed this motherfucker. I'm sorry to say they've piecemealed this thing. You know they've pulled content and put it behind a paywall. You know that. That's just their MO. But
Yes.
apples for apples, I believe Outlaws will sell more units. And I'm going to draw
Because
a
of
line.
the license.
Mainly, yeah, because number one, it's different. It's not as
Star Wars.
and it's Star Wars, and it's a Star Wars that doesn't involve fucking lightsabers and shit like that. Like people wanted, like what people been like when the Mandalorian came out, right? People were like, "We want this. This is the type of game we want," you know. And they're sort of like going towards that. It's a Star Wars game where you're playing as a bounty hunter. You're not playing a Jedi. You're not playing a Sith. You're not playing somebody who's going to be one of those things. You are just a bounty hunter, and that's it. And it's going to be interesting to see how it takes. Now, again, I'm assuming that we're just assuming that the game is like relatively bug free and not in a freaking shambles state and all that other shit. But I believe because Outlaws is in a environment that is not you routinely seen, I think Outlaws is going to sell more units than Assassin's Creed will. I believe. That's just my take on it. So
by the way, with this new Assassin's Creed, are people kind of complaining about the main character? Like, what's going on there?
It's got to do with the ethnicity of the ninja.
It's actually like, what's the issue?
I don't know.
Like, for some people are really dumb nowadays. I don't know what's going on there.
isn't it? Aren't they both based off of like historical characters? Like the samurai guy is like the black samurai from Nobunaga or
Yes.
something, and the ninja, the lady ninja, because that's basically what she is. I think she also has tethers or has a connection to something that was like a historical perspective. So I don't know if there were people who are like objecting about the female ninja protagonist, then it might be something to do with something with I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, from what my understanding was that both of the characters are tethered to actual Japanese history. So
I do have a couple more
It's gonna be
topics that I
interesting.
want to touch on before we head out for the night.
oh, go ahead.
Go on.
So Microsoft, the Microsoft's Activision team, they are opening a brand new game studio. This was released by Windows Central today at 6 minutes after noon, so 12:06 p.m. The studio is boasting the talents from teams that did The Last of Us, Witcher, Cyberpunk, and Uncharted.
Great timing.
Yeah, right. You just shut down studios and you're opening a new studio that isn't. I mean, I would have been happy if they had said the studio boasts The Last of Us, Witcher, Cyberpunk, Uncharted, Hi-Fi Rush, and Redfall developers. That would have made me happy. But it doesn't. It's a team that seemingly is being made up of people you've hired and not people that you fired.
Well, if it has Hi-Fi Rush people in it and it has Redfall people in it, then that goes against what you just said, right? Because those
doesn't.
are the people they just eliminated.
No, it doesn't. I said it should have said that, but it's actually just people from The Last of Us, Witcher, Cyberpunk, and Uncharted. I added
I mean,
Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush because that would have made it okay for me. It's the absence of those that doesn't make this okay for me. Because you've hired new people when you just said you had to let go of people for a reason, but you brought
because of resources are way too thin.
Oh, yeah.
So like I'm curious. Don't get me wrong, it's nice that we got a new studio, so Xbox now has 30 studios instead of 29 since the shutdowns. Okay, fair enough, but like Jesus fucking Christ, are you like the impression that I'm starting to have here is that were you guys trying to like you know what, we wanna hire these people that worked on The Last of Us, The Witcher, this and that, and they are way too expensive, so we need to shut down some studios there to have enough money to hire
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not saying that it was that, but like this is a thought that I had.
it's
And I'm
not
like, seriously?
it's not in the budget. We have to make room in the budget. That's the way it comes off to me.
Well, it comes off to me as the whole announcement of their quadruple A development house back when they first acquired all these studios. The initiative.
The initiative.
Yeah, like, oh guys, look at who do we have? We got people who made who are on Last of Us
You
and
got
this,
Daryl Gallagher.
yeah, Daryl,
What's
yeah,
up,
all this
brother?
stuff, and then again, until something comes out concrete, we have no earthly idea how this thing is going to take. Secondly, and I think more importantly about this whole situation is this, and what people don't realize, and I think that there has become an internal, I guess, change in philosophy in Microsoft's development house, because I think they've come to the realization that they need to start making more games that are more in the public zeitgeist than games that are small niche games, kind of like Hi-Fi Rush. I think they're looking to cater towards doing what like Sony is doing and Nintendo's doing, these big name games that draw in a whole bunch of players, and it gets a whole lot of like critical and commercial accolades and blah 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 blah, and it's not one of those small little niche games that you just drop it and then next thing if it succeeds, great. If it doesn't succeed, oh well. So that's what I think they're doing. I think that's what they're trying. They feel that that's what they need to do to sort of like push more game, whatever metric. I mean, I don't even know what Microsoft's metric is anymore. It's hard to tell. What do they want? Game sales? Do they want subscriptions? Do they want console sales? What the fuck do they want? Nobody fucking knows, and they're not clear on that either. So, but I think that that's what's going on internally. I think that they are like, oh, okay, we don't need all of these small little niche games that can't pander to like 15 players. We need something that like is going to cause a earth-shattering thing when we announce it, kind of like a God of War or a new, Assassin's Creed or Ghost of Tsushima or some shit like that. So, yeah. But it happens all the time. I mean, you probably you're saying that KY that they are going out of the way to say that these developers are in-house now, or these developers from prior games are in-house, and it failed to mention Hi-Fi Rush people or Redfall people. But you have to assume that they did not every one of those. Wasn't a 100% fire rate, right? Because they did say themselves that some of them got relocated to other jobs, but they probably felt that Hi-Fi Rush, albeit a good game, did not have the public zeitgeist penetration that a Last of Us does, or an Uncharted does, or whatever have you. So that's probably why they
Thimber is in the chat, and he says that they are due to the CMA and FTC stuff, Activision and Blizzard have to operate independently. He says that studio, I'm guessing he's talking about the studio that I was speaking of, is the studio is called Elsewhere. And apparently Thimber is saying that studio was already working in 2023. So the studio.
you said Elsewhere?
No. It was the studio was being developed, for what I saw. Was being developed. It wasn't still a thing, but they were working on getting people to be on the studio.
Right.
Wait a minute. I think Elsewhere, there's a mistake in that, dude. I thought I read Elsewhere was an EA team from what I read.
No, go into
Elsewhere is a new Activision Blizzard studio. Bob is right in that.
So go to the news text channel in the GameSet live server here, and scroll to the very bottom. Second from the bottom.
Okay. I'm getting there. Hold on. The news. Where the fuck is the news, dude? I can't see it. I'm looking at a Wario 64, but I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I thought it was EA or some shit like that. But man, it doesn't change the fact that again, it's an announcement of another studio, and we won't know anything about them for the next what? If they just made this studio, what we're looking at, 6 years, maybe. Maybe, yeah. And compared to what I think they're wanting to do, I think it's going to be about 5-6 years. So you're probably not going to see this until maybe the next iteration of the Xbox console. So, yeah. So you're probably not going to see it for this gen. You won't see it on the series, or if you do see it, it will be through backwards compat or some shit like that. But, yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Thimber added in the chat. Actually, someone found a LinkedIn page saying Elsewhere from Activision started working in 2023. According
Oh, seriously?
to a employee's profile, they already had 15 people. So I don't know.
Hmm.
And he put a link in the chat. But
Like I think again, I think it's nice that they've decided to create a new studio. It's more developers and like it's a studio that, or what we are seeing, seems to have tons and tons of talent. Like it still, it still does. It is some nice news, honestly. I do enjoy when Xbox is getting new studios, but like still doesn't change the facts that this is a really bad timing that you're doing here. And not just that, but if you go with like what Wise just said here, which is we don't want to focus on studios are going to be doing niche games, niche type games, and don't and we want to have studios that only going to create that new AAA popular game that the kids now enjoy, like the next Call of Duty or the next Assassin's Creed or whatever. That's it. So it's still, if they are following that thought process, it still gets me like it keeps me in fear for Ninja Fury and Double Fine Productions, because those studios work on games that you can consider as like kind of niche games, especially through Double Fine Productions, and that they are not the next Call of Duty, they are not the next Assassin's Creed. So like I am still kind of worried. I will continue to think that everything is going to be fine, of course, until I'm proven wrong. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just think it was bad timing for them to just, you know what, we are doing a new studio, yay!
right?
The fundamental problem with all of this is this, right? I think right now Microsoft is maybe a victim of its own success in the sense, well, whatever success you want to call this, but I think they've bitten off a little bit too much more than they can chew. It is not like how many development houses you have, it's how you manage it, right? It's not how many employees you have, it's how you manage your employees. We have yet to get a game that makes a critical and commercial success from the Microsoft camp this generation. Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. I'm just saying that we've not yet gotten one. And we don't know why that is. And all of the games that we were counting on being their, home runs were far from it. And we again do not know why that is. And until such time where we can see a steady cadence of Microsoft releasing these types of games with this type of success, any announcement of any new studio will be almost bittersweet news, because it's like, okay, yeah, you got another studio, but the studios you have, you're not really capitalizing on it yet. And from what you're showing us, so you having another studio doesn't really mean a whole hill of beans to anybody. So
On that note, Bob has got to go to work. Right?
you're leaving already?
We've been live for
Yeah.
almost 2 hours.
Yeah, in my podcast, we'd just be done with the introductions by now.
I
So
know,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, so
Oh yeah, I need to get you on one night.
so we're gonna hit the outros here, Mr. Fabio Amarim, sir. Tell everybody where they can find
Yo.
you at.
Well, you can find me not just here on the Game Set Live podcast, you can find me also on the XPL Party podcast on the XPN Network YouTube channel. You can find me also on Xbox as Buffon Lizard 8, and you can find me on Twitter as FBO Amorim 97. Thank you so much, Bob. And yeah, game on.
Awesome. Mr. Bushido, sir, the professional. Tell everybody where they can find you at, sir.
Professional
Same
drunk?
place.
Okay, cool.
Same time.
Who isn't a professional drunk nowadays?
Same place, same time.
Same bad channel.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
All right, Mr. Wise Old Gamer, where can they find you at?
Yeah, the wise old gamer with a Z, the man who brings the fun and dysfunctional, or the icky and sticky, whichever one you want to take. You can follow me on PlayStation, Xbox,
I'm on this
and
show. Almost forgot. Sorry.
what? Yeah, you're also on my show. I was going to say something,
Right.
but yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
say
well,
it.
Not
You're gonna
sick.
have to-
But yep.
Yeah, you're gonna have to say it again. Darn it! Don't make me say this again. You're gonna say it again. But there will be a test on this later, and there will be no cheat sheets allowed. So there you go.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find me Xbox, PlayStation, and Twitter or X, whatever the heck you want to call that platform anymore. Nobody really knows what to call it anymore. But anyhow, Wise Old Gamer with a Z. And of course, you can find me and my local insane panelist, of which Bushido is one, every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Wasted with Wise. And this summer, I am going to be introducing another video called The Butcher Block, where I'm going to have a couple of people, and it's going to be me while I'm grilling, and just a couple of people, just a more intimate podcast where we're a lot more relaxed and just grilling and shooting this shit and talking about everything under the fucking sun that I feel like I want to talk about. Because, yeah, I'm a gamer, but I'm a father and a teacher and a hamburger connoisseur who does not put fucking mayo on his burger. So yeah.
Wait. You're a teacher?
Yeah,
Yes.
I teach.
Oh,
I'm a
What-
mathematician. I don't die. I multiply. There you go.
oh Lord. What are you teaching?
As I said, I teach them how to multiply.
Ah,
And-
okay.
And this is your
But
host,
shit, you know what I like?
KY
Wait,
Bob.
wait, wait.
Bob's got to go.
Okay.
All
Goodbye,
right,
everybody.
Good night, man. Good night.
This is
Good
your
night,
host.
everybody.
This is your host, KY Bob, wrangling this band of misfits every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. You catch me on Xbox, Steam, PlayStation, YouTube, Twitter, KY Bob everywhere. Audios go up for this podcast the next day, anywhere you get your podcasts. And as I tell you all every week, go out, touch some grass, hug someone you love, and game on.
And if you really want to have fun, smoke that grass.
Good night.
If you were,
Good night, everybody.
and if you really want to have some fun, hug the grass and smoke the person you love. No.
Exactly.